Hi everybody, welcome back to the lift with your auntie Sheila. I'm right here in your corner. You guys, we've got it all. The mental health movement, motivation, and the best relationship advice around. So if you're loving what I'm doing, please don't forget to subscribe and share the news of the channel with your friends and family. I want to dive right in and say thank you to Jay for I loved this letter, which is why I bumped you up on the Q&A stack, and I thank you for inspiring this title. Stop trying to prove yourself to people. It will end badly for you. Let's jump right into this letter. I have a lot to say on this topic. Hi Sheila, I desperately need support in the area of seeking approval from others. This habit has been in place since I can remember. It feels like it's getting worse as I grow older and not better. I'm almost 40 and just got engaged to a woman, primarily because my father approves of her. I have gone along with this because it's what I do. I go along and try to prove it. I try to prove that I'm good in making the right decision. I love this woman as a friend. The wedding is this fall. I'm fighting with myself because so much money has gone into this already. All I needed to do was stand up and say, this is not right for me. I've known it for so long, but I wanted to prove I could pick a good mate. Anything you have for me, I will take it. Jay, I don't just have anything for you. I don't serve up just anything here. I'm giving you the best of the best that I have. And I do want to take a minute to say to everyone, thank you so much for the notes that you send in. I take it so seriously, the privilege and honor that you trust me with these issues. And, you know, I can't say enough of my regard for all of you and this channel. This community is about elevation. Everyone who's attracted to this channel is firmly in the saddle of, you know, maybe I'm not perfect, but I'm working. I want to perfect and be the best that I can be for God in this lifetime. So Jay, yeah, I have a lot to say about this issue of, it's a nuanced issue that actually has come up in my work quite a bit over the years. It can almost seem like a compulsion that a person can have to automatically, I need to prove it. I want to prove to you I'm a good person, I'm smart, I'm worthy. You know, I played that game for a very long time, and it was unconscious. I did it unconsciously, and I can, you know, out of the gate, share a story with all of you. And I shared this in a video some years ago, but it's worth a repeat. I was just about to become 30. It was a great time in my life. I was living in this adorable apartment that I loved. I was having fun. I mean, like, the biggest decision I had back then was, you know, am I going to go to the beach today, or am I going on a bike ride? What I want to make for dinner? You know, it wasn't a perfect time, but it was a charming time of life. So enter in this gentleman. I used the word loosely, and I've referenced him at other points in my work. And, you know, this relationship, we're going to see where this goes. And one day he says to me, what are you going to do? Just live here all your life in this little apartment? You know, at some point you need property. You know, it turned into this whole conversation about home ownership. And because of my state of mind at the time, I really should have been able, had I been more developed, knowing firmly who I am, what I stand for, what I'm about, should be able to just push back and say, you know, good for you. That's not what I'm ready for. No, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. This immediate reaction of, you know, you mentioned you think I should be a homeowner at this time? sounds about right to me. So I'm going to prove to you that, yeah, I can get that done. No problem. It was just kind of an automatic, very dangerous response. And I will tell you, I certainly did prove it. Got this home, and all I can tell you, there's a reason in the title I said it will not end well for you. It did not end well for me. I had that property for a very short period of time. Number one, I was not ready to be a homeowner. I didn't really want to be a homeowner and all that is involved in that. Like, I'm a homeowner now. I get it. It's like we are constantly in here attending to our house, working on it, upgrade, take this wall out, do this, repairs. I mean, it really is a major obligation, brings me so much joy at this time in my life. But back to the reason I'm sharing, this was just an automatic response of, let me prove it. And the underbelly of that is, let me do that in hopes to receive that nod, that wink, that validation from someone who, quite frankly, no one should be in a position to do that for us. It's a very dangerous way to operate. And so, Jay and everyone else who's listening, I want to talk to you a little bit about what is the root cause of that disposition to, I want to prove it to this person that I'm good, I'm worth it, I'm beautiful. I firmly believe that it can begin in childhood. Sometimes when those core pieces of validation are not there, it can become a craving. It's a craving, and if that's not dealt with, it can lead you down some very, very dark roads. I've also seen it the opposite, where coming of age, if a bar is set so high, these expectations that can be thrust, particularly upon a child, you need to make this decision when you choose your partner or your spouse. This is the kind of student you are. This is where you're going to go to school. When those expectations are so rigid, at what point in time does a child have to really explore and become him or herself? So what can happen, that bar is fixed and it's set high, and it's like, okay, I'm going to automatically defer to this programming, whether I'm trying to prove it to a teacher, whether I'm trying to prove it to my friends, whether I'm trying to prove it to my parents. This is just an automatic pathway that is taken without thought. So, part of my goal in this video is to, and with this work, is to take us out of this unconscious realm into very clear awareness. I'm aware of what I'm doing and why. And this is the real kicker. What I've seen, this is Human Nature 101. People are very smart. We could say smart, we could say cunning. Oftentimes where people aren't seated in deep levels of awareness about themselves, they can certainly sniff out and gauge various deficits, things that people are working on. They can sniff that out and will begin to exploit that. So there are individuals, you're in the mode of people pleasing and seeking approval, and you really want to be, Johnny on the spot, that good little boy or that good little girl. You want to be ultra compliant, and they will then use that information not only to manipulate you, but to manipulate the heck out of you. And it's not always malicious. Sometimes it could literally be someone has more of a controlling slant to their personality, and what they'll find in the person who, I want to please, I'm moving into this automatic realm of let me comply. I'm seeking approval. I want to prove it to you. And they will use that as a hook to manipulate you. And before you know it, you're engaged in behaviors. Oh my goodness, I didn't want to do this. Why am I doing this? You're actually operating out of what you know in your heart is in your best interest. I knew when this man started talking this stuff about this house, I really didn't care, but again, it was that wiring, it was that psychology that had not been worked out at that point. Well, wow, I feel less than, let me look around my apartment. Maybe I do need to purchase a home. And you'll end up in situations you have no business being in. So I'm being, being a little hard on everyone in this video because I know where this stuff will take you. So I'm going to get, in just a moment, I'm going to share a little bit about, how you can start to turn that behavior around. But I want to share a couple stories with you. I worked with a woman at one point in my practice. One of the saddest cases I had ever witnessed. She wanted to be a part of this organization, and at her college, this was a sorority, and basically what they did, they challenged her. She had a really dear friend, good friend. Actually, it was her roommate, and basically, on no uncertain terms, hey, if you want to be a part of this group, and we roll together, let us know you're a team player, and she distanced herself from her dear good friend. And I remember her being in my office just crying like a baby. She's like, Sheila, what I did, and kind of turned away from the friendship, cut her out of my life. I was going for the acceptance, trying to prove to them I'm a team player. That's the best friend I ever had in my life, and it's gone. It's just gone based on, what I did. This need for approval and setting out to prove something to them, and it's a sad kind of thing. But I could tell you story after story after story. I had a dear friend, and still in touch periodically. She met someone, and changed her body, changed her look, changed everything. Was very uncomfortable with it, but here, working for this man's approval, and it hasn't ended well. This is someone who, not happy in that situation, because honestly, every time you do that, every time you allow someone to come in because you don't have this worked out within you, you're literally on this, divine track of evolution, and the things that you love, what you desire, your taste, your preferences, all of that, who you are deep in your soul, that's hardwired into your evolution. Those are the gifts and talents and preferences that are going to get you where you want to go. So every time someone kind of turns your head, you allow that to happen based on, oh, I need to prove I'm good, I'm worthy, I'm competent, I can do this. And I need you to validate that through your eyes, because I'm not sure about it myself. You are derailing, jumping off your path of evolution every single time you do that. I'm not saying, don't listen to folks, take in information, recommendations, advice, all of that. We can get a lot of goodies just by listening and learning. Nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about, oh my goodness, I don't feel like I'm good enough. But if you give me the wink and the nod, maybe I can. Oh, I don't feel like I'm worthy. I feel like I need to be a part of this group for acceptance. And if you do that for me, that's going to do something. So I'm going to jump through hoops to prove it. It changes who you are, And it can take you into places that are very inauthentic. If you're going to prove something, set those markers and set those bars for yourself. In my career, I'm climbing the ladders. I'm having the best time of my life doing it. It's not for anyone's pat on the back. We all like to hear compliments and a good job, but it is truly for the glory and edification of God. I set those markers. I'm running the race against myself, if you will. And it's so important to get a handle on this particular nuanced behavior of proving things, because again, that blowback can lead to a lot of disappointment, and you can set up a lot of circumstances and people within those circumstances who have more power in your life. They have more power in your life than they should. Recently I had connected with this organization, and some people might say for societal standards, this is a prestigious group. And I'll tell you, they wanted me to share some content with a group and say some things inside of a material I was developing that I didn't believe in, and I flat out, I'm not going to do this. It's not going to fly. They didn't like that. They let me know that. Well, then you're not going to be a part of this initiative. That's fine. Thank goodness you have choices and I have choices. Because at the end of the day, I'm not here to prove it to you. This is the work. These are my values. We can go on and on and on. But the ability to stand in your truth. And again, for me, I'm sharing these stories with you, but Lord knows it's all a journey. And I turn to the power of the Lord and the hand of God to continue on that genuine path. It can really be challenging. But the more you sit with yourself, that's why I always talk about the journaling, taking time with yourself. Take yourself on some of those drives in the country or in the city, wherever you love. Take yourself away for the weekend. Take yourself to the park. Get to know yourself. Do the self-assessments that I've made videos about. Do those things so you know who and what you are. Sit with yourself, your angels, the hand of God, and ask, allow me to see myself in the beauty and splendor that you see me in. You have to see yourself, not in an arrogant way or a boastful way, but a way that says, I am worthy. I'm a child of God. I have a right to be here. I illuminate this planet. And when you own that and when you know that, it is very difficult for someone to approach you and really to tell you any different or to put you in a position where you have to prove something. I don't need to prove that to you. I'm already in the know. Now, if you're struggling to see it or you can't discern it, you may need to go to God and get some clarification, but I don't need to jump those hurdles. Already clear, jumped them already. So this is the key to it, Jay. And I understand that the band has been paid, the dresses have been purchased, but I'm telling you, before you march down that aisle, I want you to play the video again, do some very deep soul searching, because the regret and the angst that you feel right now and not speaking up before this moment is nothing compared to what you will feel in your spirit, 2 years down the line, 5 years down the line, maybe even immediately when you get into that limo and you're on the way to the airplane, the airport for your honeymoon. I know you're in a hard place, but I encourage you, get into some deep prayer and get into the truth. And if this is someone that you've gone this far with to prove, to your family that you're worthy and you can make a good pick, that's not a good enough reason to build a marriage and have children. You know, I'm asking you to back up and assess a little bit more here before you move forward. You know, in closing, what I'm saying, everyone, stop proving. Stop this pathway of proving yourself and doing backflips. It will not end well, and 9 times out of 10, the folks you're doing it for, you know, they're not, the levels of appreciation and validation for that are rarely there in the first place. I'm probably going to do a part 2 to this video and get into this nuanced topic further. Hey everyone, big announcement, the Tools Not Talk circles, empowerment circles inside of a course that I have created that's grown. We come together, we keep you accountable. It's an awesome experience. Learn more about it on the link below. I'll be back very soon with some more great content. Don't forget to subscribe, share the news of the channel, and let me know what you think about this message in the comment section. I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.